Have you ever reached a point in your life when the weight of your situation felt unbearable? Have you ever considered giving up when the challenges seemed insurmountable? Welcome to the story of one of the few prophets in Scripture who openly pleaded for death. Not because he doubted God's power. Join us as we explore the reasons behind his desperate plea, the depth of his despair, and the surprising response he received from the divine. Prepare to be inspired by a tale that transcends time and speaks to the human condition, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, hope can be found. But because he was utterly overwhelmed by despair, rejection, and the crushing weight of his mission, in today's episode, we will dive into the profound story of this prophet who asked God to take his life. The constant rejection, the mocking laughter, and the seemingly futile nature of his efforts leave him drained and disillusioned. It's a testament to the complexities of the human experience and the profound impact of living a life dedicated to truth and righteousness in a world that often rejects it. The prophet's emotional struggle resonates with anyone who has ever faced adversity. It's offering a powerful reminder that vulnerability and seeking help are not signs of weakness, but rather acts of strength and resilience. In those dark moments, he grapples with feelings of loneliness, discouragement, and profound sadness. He no longer wants to be the vessel through which God's message is delivered. The prophet's despair intensifies as he grapples with feelings of hopelessness and discouragement. The lack of recognition and appreciation for his efforts leaves him disillusioned and disheartened. The very purpose that once drove him now feels like a burden, causing him to question his ability to continue. It's paved with sacrifice, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to one's calling despite the personal cost. He doesn't abandon his belief in the divine, but rather cries out to God for solace and understanding. He didn't judge the prophet for his desperate plea, but embraced him with forgiveness and grace. This divine response offers a powerful message of hope and comfort to those who feel overwhelmed, burdened, and ready to give up. It reminds us that God is not only just and righteous, but also merciful and compassionate. The toll on his body and mind is evident, serving as a stark reminder of the human cost of his calling. It's a moment of divine intervention, a tangible demonstration of God's care and concern for his weary servant. The combination of divine intervention, human kindness, and personal reflection equips him with the resilience and determination to persevere in the face of adversity. By embracing his despair, the prophet emerges stronger, clearer, and more committed than ever before. This transformation empowers him to embrace his calling with renewed vigor and commitment. It delves into the depths of despair, disillusionment, and the emotional toll of living a life of truth and righteousness in a world that often rejects and persecutes those who dare to speak against the grain. This act of divine providence provides the prophet with much-needed physical and emotional sustenance, preparing him to face the challenges that lie ahead. It shatters the stigma surrounding these issues, reminding us that seeking help and acknowledging our vulnerabilities are not signs of weakness, but rather acts of strength and self-awareness. It demonstrates that despair, when confronted and processed, can be a catalyst for positive change, leading to a deeper commitment and resilience in the face of adversity. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that even in the darkest moments of despair, there is hope for healing, growth, and transformation. As the prophet's internal struggles intensify, his relationships, reputation, and sense of self-worth suffer. The prophet's decision to confront his emotions and seek resolution through divine guidance offers a powerful message of hope and healing. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments, reaching out for support and guidance can lead to growth, clarity, and renewed purpose. Angels or supernatural forces intervene to ensure his safety and well-being, underscoring the profound level of divine attention and care he receives. Despite his closeness to God and his unwavering commitment to his calling, he is portrayed as a flawed, vulnerable, and deeply emotional human being. His internal conflict between faith and despair, purpose and burnout, resonates with anyone who has ever grappled with the complexities of living a life true to one's beliefs. These divine interventions serve as reminders of the prophet's sacred calling and God's unwavering commitment to his mission. This sanctuary provides him with the opportunity to heal, recharge, and renew his spirit, allowing him to reconnect with God and his purpose. It's a moment of solace and rejuvenation, preparing him to re-engage with his mission with renewed strength and clarity. He becomes increasingly isolated, misunderstood, and alienated from those around him. These acts of human compassion provide a counterbalance to the persecution and rejection he has faced, reaffirming the goodness and generosity that still exist in the world. Such encounters remind the prophet of the importance of human connection and the solace that can be found in acts of kindness and solidarity. The weight of his calling threatens to consume him entirely, leaving him on the brink of collapse. The prophet's internal struggle becomes a tormenting battle within his own mind. Driven to the edge, he chooses to confront his emotions head-on and seek a resolution to his internal conflict. This moment of clarity leads him to a path of healing, growth, and renewed purpose. On one side, he is driven by his unwavering faith and sense of duty. On the other, he is consumed by feelings of burnout, discouragement, and a longing for respite. Instead, God responded with gentle reassurance and an invitation to rest. It was an unexpected answer, a surprising reprieve from the fate he had anticipated. God didn't rebuke him for his words, nor did he punish him for his momentary lapse in faith. Instead, he offered compassion and understanding. This internal conflict tears at his soul, leaving him torn and emotionally drained. The prophet's internal conflict serves as a mirror, reflecting the universal human struggle between hope. The constant mockery and scorn directed towards him and his message chip away at his resolve, leaving him questioning the effectiveness of his efforts. The prophet's story takes a dramatic turn as he reaches a breaking point. Does he turn a deaf ear to the cries of his servant, or does he offer understanding and solace? Let's find out. Overwhelmed by the emotional toll of his calling, he cries out to God, expressing his exhaustion and longing for relief. His plea echoes with desperation, revealing the immense pressure he has been under, and despair, faith, and doubt. In the relentless pursuit of meaning and purpose in a world that often feels indifferent to our efforts. As he confronts the apathy and resistance of those around him, his spirit yearns for solace and understanding. He didn't lose faith in God, but he did lose hope in humanity. You dedicate yourself to this mission, pouring your heart and soul into fulfilling the divine expectations. But as you journey further, you realize that the road ahead is fraught with challenges, each step heavier than the last. Yet beneath his resolute exterior lies a heart heavy with sorrow. The weight of his calling, the burden of delivering God's message to a defiant nation, has taken a significant toll on his emotional well-being. The prophet's internal conflict becomes more apparent as he wrestles with feelings of isolation, discouragement, and a profound sense of weariness. The prophet's story mirrors our own struggles in a world that often seems indifferent to the truth.
I picture this.
A prophet burdened by the task of delivering God's message to a people who have turned their backs on righteousness. He has done everything God has asked, yet the people remain unchanged, mocking him, rejecting him. And as he watches their sinful ways continue unabated, his heart breaks. Despite all his efforts, they just won't listen. They mock him, reject him, and persecute him. In his moments of solitude, he cries out to God, pouring his weary soul into prayer. But even in his most intimate moments with the divine, he hears echoes of their mocking laughter. It seeps into his soul, whispering doubts and weariness. He didn't plead for an easier path, but he did ask for release from the pain of futility. In the depths of his despair, the prophet makes a shocking declaration. It is enough now. Take my life. This plea wasn't a sign of weakness, but a cry from a soul deeply exhausted by its burden. He didn't doubt God's power or question his purpose. Despite the prophet's unwavering commitment, he finds himself pushed to the brink. Through his story, we learn that the path of a prophet is not always an easy one. Despite the unwavering support and guidance he receives from God, the prophet's spirit is deeply affected by the apathy and opposition he encounters. In this pivotal moment, the prophet's facade of strength crumbles, exposing the vulnerability that lies beneath. Yet even in the depths of his despair, the prophet's faith in God remains steadfast. The prophet's despair manifests physically as he experiences exhaustion, illness, or emotional breakdowns. In the depths of his despair, the prophet makes a pivotal decision that will change the course of his life. But what is God's response to this prophet's desperate plea? When the prophet implored God to take his life, he wasn't met with divine retribution or silence. In that moment of vulnerability, God didn't turn away, but drew closer. As the prophet embarks on his journey, he is met with miraculous assistance that guides and protects him along the way. Throughout the prophet's arduous journey, he encounters individuals or communities that offer him kindness, hospitality, and support. Upon reaching his destination, the prophet finds refuge and restoration in a place of peace and tranquility. As the prophet's journey continues, he gradually regains his strength, renews his spirit, and rededicates himself to his mission. The prophet's tale is a testament to the transformative power of despair, revealing how confronting one's deepest emotions can lead to growth, healing, and a deeper understanding of oneself and one's purpose. The story of the prophet who asked God to take his life is a profound exploration of the human condition. One of the most striking aspects of this tale is the prophet's humanity. The prophet's story challenges the common misconception that religious figures or those with a strong faith are immune to emotional struggles and mental health challenges. Moreover, the story highlights the importance of seeking solace and understanding in times of despair. The prophet's eventual return to his mission with renewed strength and determination serves as a source of inspiration and encouragement. We hope this story has touched your heart and inspired you to confront your own internal battles with courage. Seek solace in faith and recognize the strength that lies within you to overcome any challenge that comes your way.